Hello friends, it's your girl Chalcetta aka Ade, and today I pray that your life will be filled with unspeakable joy and overflowing with mercy. Today we're going to be going hot. We're making red chili sauce. So this sauce can be made mild, medium, or hot. This is the hot version. I'm going to show you how to make the other versions, but let's just get right into it. So I have my chili pepper, I have my dried herrings, and I have my yellow roses from my garden. So here I have some garlic. I used 1 clove of garlic and it gave me all these pieces. They're chopped and washed. I have 3 large red onions that I cut up into pieces and blended coarsely in my magic bullet, and this is what the consistency look like, guys. Next, I'm going to blend the garlic and the ginger. So for the ginger, I just use the back of a spoon to peel it, and it makes it easier to get clean. So just peel it like so, and then cut it up into big chunks, put it in your blender and blend it, and it forms a paste. So for this recipe, there isn't a right or wrong amount of ginger or garlic. Whatever your preference is, it depends on how you can tolerate the heat of the pepper sauce. So if you like spices, then you can add more ginger. If not, you can always cut back. So this is what the paste look like, guys. This is the ginger garlic paste, and it's going to go into our pepper sauce at a certain time. Okay, just keep watching. Now for the herrings, so I just blended them and it turns into a powder. Now my pepper sauce is made with dried red peppers. I'm just going to blend them, and that's what they look like. All the seeds are crushed. So now we put our pot on the stove. I'm going to be using olive oil for this recipe and a secret ingredient at the end. Please, please, please make sure that your stove is on medium and not on high, because this pepper sauce takes its time to marinate in the oil as it cooks, and it gives it that kind of a long cooked flavor. Okay, so I used 1 cup of olive oil initially. My onions is going to be added to the oil on the stove, and it's just going to take its time and fry on low. Okay, so I just turned my vent on, guys. It's not that you're going to have pepper smell in your house, you know, that kind of a pepper smell that makes you sneeze. No, you're not going to have that, but you don't want your stuff to burn on the stove. Okay, so this is going to fry for about 25 to 30 minutes. Yes, I said that. And so just do it when you have some time in the evening, and you can just sit around in the kitchen and watch it take its time and do its thing. But you're not going to regret it, because it's going to be really nice and hot. Okay, so as it fries down, this is how it turns. You can see in the pot the consistency is changing. It's actually turning into a kind of a paste. I'm going to leave it on the stove for a few more minutes. As I said, in total it took about 30 minutes to fry down to this point. But I couldn't just record 30 minutes of time. It's just going to be a waste of time, a waste of your time. But anyway, this is what we have. So at this point, I'm going to give a shout out to my sister, Mistress Linda McCarthy, who taught me how to make this pepper. You are the best, big sis. I love you. I mean, apart from my mom, you're the next best cook that I know of. Well, so our onions are frying. You see how it is? The water is drying out, and we're going to give it, when it's like this, give it another 25 minutes and it should be ready. So after 25 to 30 minutes, see how the oil, you can see the oil in the pot. At this point, it's almost ready to add the garlic ginger paste to it. Remember, you don't want to fry the garlic ginger too much, because it gives the garlic a bitterish taste. Yeah, so we're going to add the garlic ginger paste to this pot and fry Yes, you fry for about 10 to 15 minutes, and at this point I'm going to be adding some salt. So I use some of the pink Himalayan salt, and I'm going to add 2 teaspoons full of salt to the pot. Remember, I'm always big on washing your salt, your carbohydrates intake, drinking a lot of water, and staying healthy. So although we want to make delicious food, but we want it to be healthy. So now there's going to be a half a cup of olive oil added to the pot, and when I'm making this pepper, I don't just add a bunch of oil to the pot and go. I add oil as I go because I don't want to use too much oil. So in the beginning I had 1 cup added to the pot to begin with, and now I'm adding a half a cup of olive oil. And I'm going to just take it little by little and gauge on how thick I want my pepper sauce to be. Some people might want theirs to be very oily and loose. I don't, because I don't want to have to use too much oil. For me, this is a lot of oil anyway. So this is tomato paste. I added 1 can, the small tiny can that is sold in the stores. I added 1 can of tomato paste. So at this point I'm going to be adding Better Than Bouillon organic vegetable seasoning to the pot. I added 1 tablespoonful. Again, it's Better Than Bouillon organic roast vegetable seasoning. So you can find it in your grocery stores, and it's really good. I tell you, I use it a lot in my food because it has not the MSG content. So it does not have MSG in it. So my pot is still on low, and I'm still frying, tasting as I go. So I'm going to use half a tablespoon of Mrs. Dash, 1 teaspoonful of Mrs. Dash seasoning. So now the next ingredient is seasonal, and I added a teaspoonful of seasonal to my pot. Taste for my taste preference. And now I'm going to be adding the herring powder. So some people love using shrimp powder. If that is your thing, add shrimp powder. I added about a cup full of herring powder and about a cup full of ground pepper chili powder. So now I've added my chili powder to the pot, and you see how it looks. It has thickened. And I even lowered my stove a little bit more. It was on medium, and now I've lowered it to medium low, okay? So at this point, we'll be adding some more oil. We will add a half a cup of olive oil, and our secret ingredient is going to be a half a cup of organic coconut oil, okay? So we're going to leave it on the stove for another 35 minutes. And just look at it. This is after 35 minutes. That is how it looks when it is good. But for me, I just leave it on so that all the water dries, okay? Now, this is just a bonus. We're going to season some shrimp with this seasoning sauce later. But look at it. It's been on the stove for about 30 minutes now, and I think it's okay. I mean, like I said, for me, I like it dry, so I like the oil to get dried on it. So this is it. That was my shrimp that I showed you earlier, and that is my chicken. I'm going to be using this seasoning plus my green pepper seasoning to season some shrimp and some chicken, just to marinate it, and I want to show you how it looks like. So this seasoning can stay in your refrigerator for weeks. I'm telling you, it does not go bad. The last one I made stayed for about 2 months. And I got these jars off Amazon, so I just store them in it, okay? I store them in these jars. Here I have 2 tablespoons of the pepper sauce that I just made, and I'm adding 2 tablespoons of my green seasoning sauce and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So if you follow me, you'll see that I make things real easy. It's either 111, 222, or 333. Now we're going to take that and add it to our shrimp that has been peeled and washed. I'm just going to add about 2 tablespoons to my shrimp to marinate it. That green seasoning sauce has all the spices in it: parsley, cilantro, it has green peppers, onions, it has garlic, it has a little bit of vinegar. Oh my goodness, it has red onions in it, it has scallions in it, it has chives in it. It is really good. So that is going to stay in my refrigerator, that shrimp, overnight. Same as the chicken. If you notice how I handle chicken, you always want to be careful with chicken. Don't have it all over your counter and stuff, because they do carry a lot of bacteria, and the FDA has warned us a lot about handling chicken. So this is how I handle my chicken. I always use tongs, and I always season it or marinate my chicken, beef, or whatever in a Ziploc bag like so. So I just added a little bit more pepper, and I'm going to add a little bit of my good green herb seasoning to this bowl. And I believe I'm going to add a little bit of oil to the mix as well. Mix it up well, and then add it onto my chicken. So chicken, I always like to marinate with like a tablespoon of olive oil, because it helps to make the skin of the chicken just crisp and delicious. So there we go, guys. That's my shrimp and my chicken for marinating overnight. It's gonna be so good. And now that is my pepper sauce in that little jar over there, and that big jar has my green seasoning sauce in it. I highly encourage you to try this out. The ingredients are very simple, and you can make it. Please like this video, hit the notification button, subscribe to the channel, and we will see again soon. Stay blessed, and you got this, girl.